you do not mess with sacred spots. Like, this is crossing a line.
For a reason.
Macy, I need you to twerk your off.
Show me what you're working with.
My goal was really just to be able to provide for my family.
Bye. Like, somebody just take the wheel for a second while I gather my thoughts, please.
Okay, well, it gets better. So then they all start swinging with each other, Megan.
You lie like a dog, Brittany.
No, they all get drunk, party, and they swing.
It's so tacky and it's so classless and such a repulsive misrepresentation of our faith. And I'm sick to death of people coming after us. Like, stop treating us like low-hanging fruit.
They claim to still be members. I wish that the church would take more of a stance instead of just a statement. I wish there was more call to action from the church instead of individual members feeling like we have to step up and have a call to action ourselves. Like, why isn't the church doing a lawsuit? Why isn't the church excommunicating those people? Maybe they did, I don't know. But it's why is it up to individual members?
I think it's valuable, though, to show that, like, this is seriously concerning for anyone in the church. I think this comes back to, was it Megan asking, like, how do we defend ourselves? How do we do this tactfully? How do we do this in the way that Christ would?
The following is an episode of Ward Radio and does not represent the thoughts or the opinions of KHTS, its owners, or any of its affiliates, nor does it represent the official opinion of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
We are going to talk a little bit about the secret lives of Mormon wives, and kind of get into why this is such a problem. So I guess I'm just going to kind of jump right into it. I have had some of my most sacred experiences in my life in the Provo temple. That temple specifically that they used in their advertisement. I went and did baptisms many times while I was a freshman in college. That was where I was when I received the revelation that I needed to go on a mission. I had a very, very tender experience just a year and a half ago, not even that long ago, right before it closed down, that I can't even put into words. So coming to see this used in an advertisement for something that goes against, pretty blatantly against what we believe, was a very jarring experience for me. I don't know how you guys felt. How did you feel seeing the temple in that?
Okay, just if you wouldn't mind getting me up to speed. One, it hasn't aired yet, right? This is just
correct.
These promotions.
I think it airs on September. Oh, what is it?
6th.
Like the first weekend in September?
Yeah, September 6th.
September 6th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it hasn't aired yet. They're putting out these promotions like, hey, get excited about this. This is yada, yada. And they have, a YouTube trailer and some stuff on Instagram. It's fairly small at this point, but I have a feeling that once the show gets started, crap hits the fan. But in their trailers, both on Instagram and on YouTube, they have clips of them. Actually, Cardin, you can pull it up. The picture of them on temple ground.
Yep, got it.
So I had issue with this because the temple is sacred to me. And I felt like, they are using it in a way that is A, an advertisement to make money, and B, mocking the things that we hold sacred.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from. For me, I've never been to the Provo temple. Obviously, I should probably treat all the temples, right, as sacred. But since I've never physically been to the Provo temple, it made me think, like, if it were the Los Angeles temple, which is where I attend and where I got married, that has more significance to me. So I probably would feel more like you, Joy, since I've been there and I've had spiritual experiences there where it seems like it's making a mockery of something that I hold sacred and dear. So them being in front of the Provo temple, I totally get what you're saying. I just don't have that draw to the Provo temple. So for me, it wasn't as big of a deal unless it were like the Los Angeles temple. I still see what you're saying though, of like, it's a temple, so why put it in an ad? They're obviously trying to have some kind of, statement that they're trying to show.
And can we just dumb it down just for 2 seconds? First of all, the title of the show. Friends and family, if you're new to our faith, welcome. We are no longer called Mormons. We are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So first and foremost, please know that this show has nothing to do with our faith. Second, having not even seen a full episode or even watched a promo clip, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that the secret lives that they're showing isn't about philanthropic work or anything like that. Is it? I don't know.
Nope.
Let's put the facts out there before I start tearing this up. And I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Okay. I love Lawyer Megan. I love Lawyer Megan. She's so glad she's on our side.
She's here. Keep going,
Carter,
Joy.
do you want to just pull up the actual video on YouTube of their, and just play like the first 30 seconds of it?
Okay.
Good Lord.
Or not even 30 seconds.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. In 3, 2, 1, official trailer on Hulu.
I love the Mormon church, but there are a lot of rules that we have to follow. We were raised to be these housewives for the men, serving their every desire. Have kids by the time you're 21, or in my case, at 16. Well, I'm like, this.
Show me what you're working with.
Show me. I created Mom Talk. It's a group of Mormon moms making TikToks. It started with Whitney, Macy, Michaela, and I.
We're breaking a norm. We are trying to change the stigma of gender roles in the Mormon culture.
Want to keep going? Watch the rest? Okay, here we go.
That's what scares me. In the church, we have rules for a reason.
Macy, I need you to twerk your ass off.
Show me what you're working with.
My goal was really just to be able to provide for my family.
Bye. Like I somebody just take the wheel for a second while I gather my thoughts, please.
Okay, well, it gets better. So then they all start swinging with each other, Megan.
You lie like a dog, Brittany.
No, they all get drunk, party, and they swing.
She's got to see it. Let's just show her.
No. We don't need to show that. That is not worth our time. But the point is, I have issue with these drinking and swearing and swinging and all the things being put in the same advertisement as, oh, look, it's a pretty temple. Like, no. You do not get to use a temple like that. That is not. No, absolutely not.
Well, and also, like, they're matching blue coats. Did anyone watch Handmaid's Tale? Like, that's what it looks like. It's just, I don't know if that's what they were going for. I don't know if it's like a cultish, right? They're all wearing the same thing. Like, I don't know what they're trying to go for.
Yeah.
But, that was weird. Odd.
So basically, these advertisements are out there. I love that the church put out a statement against this in response to this. And in their statement, they said that some portrayals, talking about portrayals of our faith in the media, they said some portrayals are fair and accurate, but others resort to stereotypes or gross misrepresentations that are in poor taste and have real life consequences for people of faith. A number of recent productions depict lifestyles and practices blatantly inconsistent with the teachings of the church. Others irresponsibly mischaracterize the missionaries, talking about the heretic, other things. And then they go on and they talk about the sensationalism and the inaccuracies. This is all straight from the church response to this. And so sensationalism, inaccuracies that do not fairly and fully reflect the lives of our church members. So I'm thinking about this. I'm like, the church literally just said, this is not fair. This is not accurate. This is wrong, right? And in my mind pops Article of Faith number 13, which at the very end, we believe all things, we hope all things, we've endured many things, hope to be able to endure all things. If there is anything virtuous, lovely, or of good report or praiseworthy, we seek after these things. And I was just like, I guess that's a pretty easy choice for me. Like, the church is over here, these like pretty blatantly telling us how it is, and it does not match up with Article of Faith 13. Like, this is not the thing that we should be seeking after, not the kind of media we should be consuming.
I feel terrible because all of these visceral reactions are in real time, which is going to be a nightmare for editing because I haven't formulated the words. I should have watched the clip first to mentally prepare.
I think it's valuable, though, to show that, like, this is seriously concerning for anyone in the church. Like, this is hurtful and unfair.
And I see what you're saying now about in front of the temple. That's where you're going to record? Or
yeah.
It's so tacky and it's so classless and such a repulsive misrepresentation of our faith. And I'm sick to death of people coming after us. Like, stop treating us like low-hanging fruit. Enough is enough. But I think that there's something extraordinary about our faith. First of all, most of us are really not. Okay, no, delete that. Cut, take 2. I don't like people coming after our faith, but I guess in a way I understand it because we are attractive, educated, successful people. Yes, I said it. And we have this relationship with God that we don't necessarily shove down people's throats. We're just trying to live our best lives and go to church on Sundays and be nice to our husbands and raise our kids and go to the temple to do extremely sacred work. So to take that and to throw in swinging and the church made me have a baby when I was 16. Like, get out of here. Enough's enough. Seriously, go back to the drawing board and come up with a different concept for a show. Enough.
Well, and I think what makes it so just like jaw-dropping or jarring is it's not anti and ex-Mormons in this show. It's supposedly people of our own faith going out there voluntarily showing their life as
not in my
Mormon,
faith.
right? And it's like, why do we have to fight against you too? Like, we already have to defend ourselves against antis and toxic ex-Mormons that choose to be toxic. Why do we also have to now defend our faith and our lifestyle against people claiming to be in our faith and our lifestyle?
That's such a good point. I didn't even consider that some of them may be active members.
Yeah. They all claim to be members except for one. I believe one has never been a member, but she lives in Utah. I believe the rest still claim membership to the church. Whether they're active or inactive, I don't know, but they claim to still be members.
To me, this brings up the thought of excommunication, in that excommunication is a loving thing. It is a, hey, you're not living up to these promises that you made. Let's take away these promises, and then you won't be hurt more for not living up to what you've promised to do. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that's interesting in this case. Like,
okay, I'm sorry. The sugar-free Red Bull is kicking in. I should be marketing Women of Ward Radio better. I should be talking to people at church about this podcast and to watch. I don't, because I want to be able to speak freely here, and I'm afraid that I could potentially offend someone at church. It's never my intent, but I'm just very paranoid at these early stages. Could you imagine your bishop, not even your bishop, but like just anybody in your ward seeing you act a fool on TV? That part is really beyond comprehension to me. Not to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just saying, if you really do care about the feelings of your fellow ward members, I don't think misrepresenting our church so horrifically is a good look.
Yeah. Also, I want to know if they were filming on the grounds. First off, do you think they were actually filming on the grounds in front of the temple? Or could that be like a Photoshop AI kind of image? Is that kind of like movie magic? Or do you think they were physically there?
If you pull up the picture, so I took a screenshot of just the first that clip in their ad.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, I mean, there's snow on the ground and they look pretty, like, it looks pretty good. Like, that'd be a really good fake if it was a fake.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it looks like they're there. And you can tell, you can kind of see the gate behind them. So they're not on temple grounds. But, Cardin, if you pull up that map, I highlighted in blue where it looks like most likely they were standing.
Interesting.
They're on grass. You can't see parking lot, but you can see the gate. So that would be that blue spot. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time at the Provo Temple. And if you pull up the map of BYU campus, it appears that this is part of BYU campus. I know it's fully maintained by BYU. BYU does all the grounds, all the security, all the stuff. I called the so this empty field in front of the temple. So there's the temple and then the field in front of it. Often missionaries go there. So MTC is right across the street. Often missionaries will go to this empty field, and that's where they do their exercises. You know, they're playing some sports on this field. And so it's called the missionary field. Now they're in it appears that they are in a little tiny piece of grass surrounded by parking lot just above this field. So it's not clear if this is temple ground or MTC ground or BYU ground. I don't know. I couldn't find the answer. But however it is, the MTC, I spoke with them today and they said, yeah, photography is not allowed. Other than like personal, like missionary people, you know, oh, I'm a missionary, let me take my picture. You know, professional photography, things like that are not allowed. And the person that I spoke with said that if security saw them, they would have kicked them out. BYU has a specific policy.
So I wonder, did they have a permit to film? I mean, I don't know.
No way.
I don't know Utah laws, but I'm pretty sure you still have to have a permit to film if you're on land that you don't own.
So the BYU policy says the university does not allow people or businesses to film or photograph on campus that use that media for promotional, marketing, commercial, advocacy, or similar purposes. This prohibition includes individuals whose work on YouTube or other digital platforms is aimed at generating income through advertising. Yada, yada, yada. Like, that's a very clear policy. Like, anywhere on BYU campus is a no. And the MTC is anywhere on campus, it's a no. I could not find the official policy for temple grounds. I would imagine there's a similar policy. I couldn't find it.
Seems to me like the church should maybe investigate that and maybe levy a lawsuit.
Why did you have to switch it to me?
If there were ever a reason to do a lawsuit, it's you filmed on grounds that we own and we did not give you permission or access to.
Well, and not even that we didn't give you permission, but also it's against what we believe. Like, blatantly inconsistent, as the church said. So it's like, I don't know if there's grounds there, and I don't know if that's the Christlike thing to do, but I think it's worth noting that it's
Christ flipped tables, like, Joy.
Yes, absolutely. I was gonna bring that up because, you know, last time people were at the temple trying to do things to make money, Jesus Christ came in and flipped some tables. Like, you do not mess with sacred spots. Like, this is crossing a line.
It's one of my favorite stories in the Bible when Jesus just had it. He just had it. He just had a day and he was like, not today. And it just makes me think of the times that Jesus was confronted with some adversarial force and how his reactions kind of changed depending on who he was dealing with. And so, Joy and Brittany, my question to you guys is, what is the proper response when someone's coming at our religion? I don't want to be the stereotypical aggressive, loud black woman defending anything, really. But sometimes I think, am I being too soft? Stuff like this clearly, this Hulu show clearly got under my skin, and I find it repulsive. Okay, so now what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is flailing my arms on Ward Radio enough? No, it's not. But what is the tactful, appropriate way to go about this instead of, oh, that's not what our church does?
You know what I wish, though? I wish that the church would take more of a stance instead of just a statement. I wish there was more call to action from the church instead of individual members feeling like we have to step up and have a call to action ourselves. Like, why isn't the church doing a lawsuit? Why isn't the church excommunicating those people? Maybe they did, I don't know. But it's why is it up to individual members to defend the church? Like, why is, I don't know. So that also makes me angry.
Yes, I was thinking about that this week, and literally the Come Follow Me this week was focused on Captain Moroni, who was not the prophet, was not a specified, okay, you're the person. He was just your average Joe Smo member of the church, and he chose and studied and prepared and was able to defend. And I think we might need some more Moronis in our day, who just average members of the church who are saying, no, you cannot do this. I draw the line in defense of my God and my religion and freedom and my family. You have gone too far. At some point, you got to step up and defend yourself. I think this comes back to, was it Megan asking, how do we defend ourselves? How do we do this tactfully? How do we do this in the way that Christ would? And I pulled up a couple of quotes on that. So I'm going to start with Robert D. Hales. He says, to respond in a Christ-like way cannot be scripted or based on a formula. The Savior responded differently in every situation. When he was confronted by a wicked King Herod, he remained silent. When he stood before Pilate, he bore a simple and powerful testimony of his divinity and purpose. Facing the money changers who were defiling the temple, he exercised his divine responsibility to preserve and protect that which was sacred. Lifted up on a cross, he uttered the incomparable Christian response, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I love that Robert D. Hales, says it's not the same every time. We have to follow the Spirit. We have to use our God-given abilities to discern what we should do and how we should respond. And I don't think I have all the answers. I know I don't have all the answers. Another quote that I wanted to bring in here was Gordon B. Hinckley, which Gordon B. Hinckley is the cutest little, cute old man. And this is what he says, quote, anger may be justified in some circumstances. The scriptures tell us that Jesus drove the money changers from the temple, saying, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. But even this was spoken more as a rebuke than an outburst of uncontrolled anger. So I love this clarification. It's okay to be angry. It is okay to have that godly anger. But notice that, when Jesus is flipping tables, this isn't I'm on a rampage, I'm, throwing furniture and harming people. Side note, I believe one of these women did do something similar and hurt one of her children. So this is not the kind of anger we're going for. We're going for thoughtful, clear, direct. How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect the youth of our church, the children of our church? I have very sacred memories from this Provo temple, and hey kids, come look at a picture of mom at the temple. I don't want them to associate that with this garbage show.
Yeah. Can I share an example of something that happened to me earlier today?
Yes.
And I even leave a comment. Tell me if I'm the loser. So, okay, a friend of mine asked me what I was doing today. Again, because I'm a little self-conscious about being a new podcaster, I just said I'm filming a podcast later on today. Oh, what's it about? How come this is the first time I've ever heard about this. Well, it's church related, and, I'm just a little cautious about who I discuss these things with. Okay, fine. So then there's some back and forth. He says, you have a right to your beliefs and I'm never going to judge you. A healthy imagination is good for you. Smiling emoji, crying smiling emoji. I'm going to block out his name. But like, a healthy imagination is good for you, huh? So I said, hey, was the last sentence and emojis necessary? He says, it felt right. I say, wow, and put my phone on silent. So then he said, I'm just picking on you. Please know I would never purposely do anything to insult you or make light of your beliefs. I gave him a second to think about what he did wrong, and I was waiting for another apology. I didn't get one. So I said, I don't want to make a big deal over this because I know you have a good heart, but let's keep God out of the, quote, things to pick on Megan about list. And he said, understood. Okay. Did I overreact?
No.
Okay, right? Like, there are two things that you don't come at me about. God and my family. Just don't. And there was just something so nasty and unnecessary about, oh, you're entitled to your imagination, smiley face, laughing. Like, get up. And now I'm mad and I'm replaying this over and over and over in my head. And I'm thinking, okay, Megan, stop. That's enough. He said understood. But I'm still mad. I'm still mad. Yeah. Family and friends, put in the comments, am I overreacting? What would you have said? Do I need to give another lecture? I don't know.
I think it can be so hard to figure out how to deal with the anger that happens when we're picked on. And like I said, I don't have all the answers for this, but I think that we definitely pray about it and seek the guidance of the Spirit. And like, that's all I can say. Like, I don't know. I don't have any clear, like, life hack. This is how you scream into a pillow if that works for you. But my only thought would be if we have clear communication, which you did in this circumstance, I thought that was clear communication. Like, hey, this is off the table. Like, great. Understood. Got it. Clear communication, I know, definitely helps. I would say let's be conscious of the choices that we have and the things that we're in control of. So in the circumstance of this Hulu show, we have total control over whether or not we watch. They get money for how many views they get. Are we going to pay them with our time? Personally, I'm not. I watched the advertisement before. I said, absolutely not. This is not for me. We can also choose, like I said, how we spend our time, how we spend our money. If we spend money on a Hulu subscription, which Hulu is the one that is airing this, we could choose to not do that. We could say, hey, you know what? I'm canceling my subscription. And I don't think that would be overreacting. I don't think that would be an angry, like, out of control anger situation. I think that would be, you crossed a boundary here. I'm out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that too far? Is that worth it?
I think it's good. I don't know. I'm always stuck with, like, the world is just going to get worse, right? So I get stuck in this, like, well, it doesn't really matter what I do because scripturally we know things are going to get a lot worse. So why even try? Sometimes I get stuck in that rut. I don't think canceling your Hulu subscription, I don't think that's being crazy at all. I think that's very logical. I don't have a Hulu subscription. So if I do watch it, I'm going to be using someone else's, so they're not getting my money. No. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I mean, everyone has their own personal relationship with God, and God will tell you how to react based off of your personality, your means, your whatever. So, I don't know. Just the primary answer, pray about it and see what your personal call to action is. But I think the right choice is to do something to take a stand for something.
I think we continue to do these episodes. I just got this overwhelming feeling like what you're doing right now is a step in the right direction. And eventually, I think as we are more consistent with our episodes, as we gain trust from our audience, this platform is going to reach more and more and more and more people. But we just have to stay steady and energetic and know why we're doing this. And with a larger platform, we will have more influence over these things. But right now, I can understand how it is really easy to get discouraged. Like, oh, Megan Joy and Brittany against Hulu. But it's more than that. It's more than that. I'm proud of the work that we're doing. And I know that our message is being heard. And we just need to keep going.
Yeah.
And I don't have a Hulu subscription either. So take that.
Okay, well, for any of our viewers, if you have a Hulu subscription, consider canceling your Hulu subscription, at least for a time. And
get a Ward Radio subscription instead.
Hey!
Boom! There it is. All right. Well, I think that wraps us up for today. Do you guys have anything else to end off with? Are we good?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Over and out.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us, the Women of Ward Radio, and we hope you'll continue watching.